Welcome to Ask Self-Belief, Chief. The question for today's show is this. Self-belief, are you born with it or can you develop and grow it? And it's a great question, and every so often I get this question. I think it's the first time I've answered it on this show, though. And it's, as I said, it's a good question. Now, there's a few steps to it. I'm going to answer this question in three parts. The first part is this, that unsurprisingly, yes, people are born with more confidence based on the sort of genetic makeup of their parents, of their family, what types of people they are. Every single individual is completely different. Their makeup is completely different, and therefore, confidence can't be, discounted. And amongst that, people are born with more confidence than others. That's the only thing I'm going to say on nature, right? That is the only thing I'm going to say on nature. Yes, people are born with more confidence. People will use the nature aspect as an excuse as to why they'll never have the confidence to do or live what they want. And it's easier that way, isn't it, to make an excuse. I could never be the athlete I wanted to be because I didn't have the confidence of a Conor McGregor. You know what? I could never do, never be an entrepreneur because I wasn't as intelligent as Elon Musk. We could have excuses over and over and over again, okay? And that we just didn't have as much confidence as these particular individuals. That's a good way to explain failure. The best way to explain failure, the right way to explain failure, is if you don't get what you want in life, it's because of you. I'm sorry to say that, but that's why you're tuning in, because you don't want to fail. Yes, we're all going to fail along the way, but you want to eventually achieve what you want to achieve. Is self-belief nature or nurture? I was listening to a video earlier on to prepare for this question. A video had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. And he said, most people, they hated doing those extra reps. They hated doing those extra exercises. They hated spending an extra 15 minutes in the gym when it was burning in their muscles. They couldn't lift anything and they couldn't feel anything, and it was just tough and it was difficult. People didn't like going through that pain barrier, okay? Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger said he looked forward to it. He loved it. He felt it. He embraced that. Because he knew those extra bits were always continuously building momentum. Just pushing that a little bit further was just a bit more momentum. Going back in the gym for a second time that day, building momentum. Doing another rep, building momentum. Doing another exercise, building momentum. Increasing the weight, building momentum. Another mile on the treadmill, building momentum. And he said it's all these little things that add up to over time, these small wins, these small, individual aspects, those inches that you're trying to reach. All of these small wins, that increased momentum, builds self-belief. He said he was born quiet, he was born timid, weak, as he put it himself. And then one day he just decided he could see what he wanted to be, he could see what he wanted to look like. But he wasn't born, he wasn't equipped with a huge amount of self-belief. But I think he said he won his first trophy, a very, very small trophy when he was young. It's for the best clean and jerk. He thought, maybe I'm all right at this. And you know what? When you succeed, when you're good at stuff, of course it builds self-belief. What I try and do is help people change their state like that, even when they're sat down. Now, I can help you build your self-belief whilst you're not moving, whilst you sat down. But there's no getting away from the reality of achievements, of succeeding, of seeing the right results coming to fruition, building self-belief. And the momentum of that yes, you've done it that time, then you've done it that time, then you tried that new thing and it worked, and you tried that new thing and it worked. And imagine how much self-belief you have by doing things over and over and over again. Of course you get more self-belief because you get more clarity, which is one of the 6 sources of self-belief, the model that I use with clients. The clearer you are of what you want, the closer whatever you want comes towards you. Right? The clearer you are, the closer it comes towards you. Momentum is another of the 6 sources. So if you're clearer and you build more momentum, and then the picture becomes clearer, and so you then know what to try next and what to try next, so you build even more momentum, and then it becomes even clearer, more momentum, clearer, more momentum, clearer, more clarity, momentum. Of course, imagine how much self-belief you'd have. It's the same as David Goggins. If you don't know who David Goggins is, oh my God, check him out. This guy is an absolute animal. He was a former US Navy SEAL, and he broke the pull-up world record of the most pull-ups in 24 hours. I think it was 4,600 or something. He did it in 17 hours. And he then got into doing ultra marathons, running 100 marathon races back to back to back, week after week after week after week. Then doing a 205-mile race where 30 miles to go, he said, he knew his body had shut down and he couldn't do it and he wasn't going to finish the race. And something within him burned, the fire relit, and he just did it. And he realised that he'd never really used all of himself, all of his capabilities. And then in that moment, he finally did. He finally pushed himself to the next level. He says that nobody on earth has really used more than 40% of what they're capable of. I believe this as well. And what David Goggins says is that it's great someone like me can articulate messages and hopefully I say something that helps build your level of confidence. But he says nothing beats just doing it. And he's right. I want you to, once you finish listening to this podcast, make a move, take massive action. And if you can get through that little 5-second barrier, the 5-second barrier, that's exactly the same as when you're trying to get up from your sleep in the morning, where you're a bit like, oh, I really don't want to do this. If you just can get through those 5 seconds, the feeling you have once you get going, and you do that enough times and you build momentum, and you see the picture because it's right in front of you, because you keep doing it and doing it. And even when no one else thinks you can do it, even when no one else wants you to do it, even when no one else cares. If no one was streaming in live on this Instagram Live, I would still be doing this. Because I just got to do it. I've just got to be there for people. Because that's within me to do it. Nothing beats actually just doing it, to build momentum, to get a clearer picture. So when we talk nature, nurture, God, your experiences, of course they help build self-belief. Or break it down. But if you change today will change your life. Okay, if you change how you think, how you feel, what you do, of course it's going to change your life that day. Imagine doing that day after day. Imagine waking up every single day knowing that you could change your life if you just change anything. And you could change it for good or for bad. But you can just change it. And then you did that every day. And imagine 1 week of that, 7 days. 7 days of just change and improvements and developments and progression. Even by after a week, that's 7 days of just progression and change and expanding and learning. That can take you a long, long way. Now imagine 4 weeks in a month. 52 weeks in a year. Doing that for 2, 3, 4 years. You had that habit. You made it a habit. You made it routine to change, to progress. Building that momentum and seeing what works and then eventually getting that clarity. I have failed many a times doing this. I wanted to be a footballer at one point. I did it, but not quite to the level I truly wanted to do it, and I failed at that. But I knew doing the self-belief chief stuff that I knew that I was just going to have to push through it anyway. I would just have to do it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. So that's what I want you to take from it, is that if you believe that self-belief is nature, that you just can't accept it, then give up. Don't accept it. Turn off the podcast. Don't even bother streaming live into this. But if there's something within you that knows that you want more, then I want you to remember this. Self-belief is a skill. And if you understand that self-belief is a skill, it means you have the confidence to know that you can increase and you can improve your self-belief. You can go to any other podcast or webinar to get your level of, to find out skills and tools and techniques. But if you don't have the confidence, forget it. Okay? Anyone you look up to, anyone you aspire to has a certain level of confidence in the area that you look up to them in. So I need you to see self-belief as nurture. Yes, it's a bit of nature, a bit of nurture, but forget the actual question in a sense. Just remember it's nurture. It has to be nurture, because if you don't believe it's nurture, it'll never happen for you. I have to believe it's nurture. I have to believe I can develop it. I have to believe I can expand it. As confident as a person as I am now, I need to believe that in a week's time I can grow my confidence even greater. And then I can teach even more people how to develop that confidence, how to find that hunger, and how to build that fire within them. You have something special within you. It's just a case and a matter of whether you believe you can increase and develop the confidence. And you've got someone sat down right now with a social media page where you can ask him any question you want to build your level of confidence. Whatever's going on in your life, you can message me. You've got a tool right here if you need it. But you have to believe that self-belief is something that can be developed and is a skill. And if you're streaming in live, I want you to put, if you believe self-belief can be nurtured, I want you to type in yes in the box if you're on Instagram live. You have to believe that self-belief can be nurtured. It can grow, it can expand. You have to. I don't usually get so fired up in these podcasts, but man, you've got to believe that it can be nurtured. It has to. And I want you to get what you want in life. So, listen to the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger and David Goggins, to just do it, to build momentum, to develop the picture, get clearer and clearer, and just get started. As Nike's quote's the best quote of all time, or their strapline rather, just do it. Even if you don't know how is none of your business, as Les Brown said. How is none of your business? Just get going. My name is David Holman. If you change today, today will change your life. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your life. And you can follow my podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube as well. On my Instagram profile, you can find it in the bio link, the link to this podcast, and also my series Break Limits in Minutes on YouTube. So follow those, subscribe to those, share them with people who need to hear them. And send in your questions on my website. On the same link on my bio page, you can send in questions, or whatever social media platform you're on. If you put hashtag AskSBChief, hashtag AskSBChief, we can also collate the questions from there for the upcoming shows. But if you've got a question, there's a part of your life that you want to build more self-belief in, and you have a specific question, and the more specific the better, then send those questions in and I'll answer them for you as per usual. So, as I said, my name is David Holman. If you change today will change your life. So enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your life, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.